You sure you got enough room on this thing?
Yes.
We're going to get cut off halfway in the middle?
No.
That's good, because I'm T.
And I mean.
All right, and here we go. We are on the podcast. Guess what it's doing outside?
Snowing hard.
It is snowing hard. A lot of other places got a lot of snow, and we got, you know.
We got a couple.
We got snow. We had a white Christmas. Well, that was amazing. That is exactly what you had wanted.
That was the only thing I really wanted.
Oh, aren't you just the sweetest? Yeah. So why white Christmas? What is the thing about that?
It doesn't feel like Christmas if there's no snow.
Okay.
It just doesn't.
All right. Oh my gosh. 47
Stop!
seconds. 47. How late did you stay up last night? Let's talk about that.
Okay, I stayed up pretty late, but on my defense, I was reading. I read for like an hour.
Never a problem. Stay up reading as late as you want. Never a problem. It's staying up in the death spiral of Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. Oh, I haven't checked Snapchat in a while. Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. Oh, I haven't checked it. That's the thing. If you can stay away from that, you're fine. Reading's great.
Yeah.
But are you doing the Christmas break creep where you stay up later and later and you sleep later and later, and then when it gets to time to go back to school, it's going to be a shock to your system again?
No, blah.
Well,
I'll
live, but I would like the house to be nice and pleasant for everybody.
Hey, I have been pleasant.
Mostly, yeah. Have I been pleasant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly.
See, it's not something to take offense to. That's just the way that goes. So, how was Christmas?
It was really good, for the most part. I'm sad that we didn't get to see family. That's the main thing, I guess.
True. So let's talk about Christmas here at our house.
Okay. Then
we can talk about other stuff. So tell me about Christmas at our house, or tell the viewing public.
Stop. Okay.
I'm keeping track right over here.
I won't do it again.
I'm just going to come in on the side for however many you do. So far, it's 2.
Okay. Well, I don't know. We woke up, opened presents.
Well, what about Christmas Eve?
Oh, Christmas Eve,
It was that long ago you don't remember? It's only, 5 days, 4 days?
It feels like so long ago.
It doesn't to me.
It does. It feels like 2 months ago. On Christmas Eve, we watched a lot of Christmas movies. That's what I remember.
We did watch a lot of Christmas movies over the course of like 3 days. We watched Christmas Vacation, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas,
Jingle
Christmas
All the Way.
Story, Jingle All the Way, Charlie Brown, Garfield. What else did we watch? Elf. Well, yeah, that's a lot.
We watched a lot.
That was what we did. We hung out as a group and played games and watched movies, and yeah, it was really, really quite nice, to be honest. So we opened gifts for each other on Christmas Eve. Like I gave you a gift, and I gave Isaac a gift, and you gave Isaac a gift, and you gave Maya a gift, and everybody went round robin and opened them all up. Did you get anything cool? What'd you get?
I got a blanket.
Christmas blanket.
I'm so bad. I don't remember what was like Christmas Eve and Christmas. I'm trying to remember, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. They all blend together.
Yeah.
That's okay. So then on Christmas morning, what happened?
Santa came.
He really did.
He really did.
He really did.
Yep, and then we opened up all the presents, and then ate food.
Yeah, okay. All right.
It's not, there's nothing really special that happened, right?
Oh, okay. I don't know. Yeah, I just thought maybe you'd tell the story about how Santa leaves a big wall of wrapping paper and everyone runs through it, and you all slept in the same area of the house, and I don't know. There's some fun stuff. But like you are past it. Christmas is yesterday's news.
I already put away my Christmas stuff in my room.
You did?
It doesn't feel like Christmas anymore.
So just before you said it's what snow makes it feel like Christmas, and now it's snowing out, but now it doesn't feel like Christmas.
Yeah, because it already happened. There's nothing to look forward to now. I mean, 2021, but
Okay.
Listen to that. 2020 won. She won. It was a terrible year. So many bad things happened. Do you get that? Do you get it?
I do.
You get it?
2021. Yes. The year beat a lot of people throughout the world. It certainly did. But we're getting there. We're 2 days away. 2 days away from New Year's. How about when Santa came to the house? Like Santa actually came to the house. Like we had no idea Santa was coming. Santa showed up on the doorstep and...
Oh, shoot.
I did the 3. You didn't even notice because you were busy yelling.
Oh.
Tell about Santa. Like I went crazy.
Why?
Because Santa came.
Yeah.
Like the actual Santa. I got to give Santa a hug.
Oh.
I hadn't given Santa a hug in like 6 months.
I was so confused.
Tell him about it. Tell him about Santa showing up on
Well, we were driving home from school, and then like once we got to the top of the driveway, we saw people sitting on the front step, and it looked like a Santa suit. And so I was like, what?
What do you mean a Santa suit?
Santa.
It looked like Santa. Thank you.
It looked like Santa. And so I was like, oh, I wonder if Alexa's wearing like a Santa suit. I was really confused. And we got closer and closer, and I like looked, I like squinted. I was like, it's Papa!
It was Santa and his helper. And they came and they dropped off. What did they drop off?
Cookies and presents.
Cookies. They fudge and mountain cookies and nut clusters.
Oh, so good. We already ate them all.
Poop, reindeer poop. And
Yeah.
yes, they didn't last long. We got 6 people in the house. Everybody has 2 of each kind, and that's it. They're gone. They're finished. You know, so, but it was spectacular. It was so nice. In fact, later on, we're going to talk about gifts, and I'll put that as an honorable mention. On my favorite gifts of all time was coming down the driveway and seeing Santa and his helper here, delivering gifts and just spending
Couple hours.
30, yeah, not even, right?
They only
Yep,
stayed
you're
like an hour
done.
and a
Well,
half or
that's
so.
the way you got to do it, outside and masked and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it still certainly was nice, and what a great thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
so what about the Smith family virtual Christmas?
Stop! Oh my God!
I won't stop. You stop.
I can't.
You stop.
I haven't
Then
had
I
a
won't do
coffee yet.
it. It's 3 in the afternoon.
It's okay. What I did was I made a coffee in a cup, but like there's no setting to make it cold, and I only like iced coffee. So then if I put ice in it, then it gets all watered down. So I put it in the cup, and it's sitting outside right now getting cold. So then when we're done with the
That's a good
podcast,
idea.
I can go upstairs and buy ice, and then yeah. But anyways, what were we talking about?
Virtual Christmas.
Oh.
Saturday. Yeah.
So the day after Christmas, we did a Zoom call with Granny and Papa, Brian and Grace and Jacob, and then Tim, Tina, Max, and Kelsey. And they were all at Granny's house without us. Just kidding.
You forgot somebody.
And Jay and Angela.
There you go.
Yeah,
Good,
they were on the
good.
Zoom for a little bit, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So I spent an awful lot of time with Jay and Angela later, but you
we
didn't because most of the time that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Why you would.
Because we,
Most of the time they weren't on when you were. Correct. Okay.
on the call, we played some games, like video games. We did that for like, how many hours? Like 4 hours.
You guys played those games.
We played video games
So
with them
fun.
for 4 hours.
How much did you laugh?
A lot.
All
It was
day
really
long.
fun.
All day long. What games were they? What's it called?
I don't remember what it's called.
Jackbox.
Jackbox.
Jackbox. And the different games you played were like Guesspionage and Drawful.
Oh yeah, Drawful was the most fun.
Drawful's super
definitely.
fun.
Mhm.
Did you play Quiplash? Did you
No,
play...
we didn't because Max can't really spell that
Oh,
well.
that's true. He's pretty young.
Yeah.
And probably would just take him too long. He probably
Mhm.
could kind of play, but yeah, when you have to type things, it's hard for him.
Mhm.
But drawing and guessing numbers and stuff is super easy.
Yeah,
So
it
that
was
was
fun.
super fun. Yeah. Let's see. What else is going on? I forgot to tell you this, and I meant to take you, and especially Isaac will love this. My car, I got a software update yesterday. And it got a new feature that is just spectacular. You won't believe what it is. It's called the Boombox feature. Did you know my car has speakers that go out rather than just listening to them in the car? They have speakers that go outside.
So you can blast it out.
So you go on Boombox mode, and your music goes outside of the car. So it'll work great for, like, if you're outside or you're working in the garage, you turn your car on to the Boombox mode. It plays the music for you outside the car. If you're at a tailgate and you're parking there, then your car plays the music. Also, if you're driving around town and you want the other people to hear what you're playing on your music, you can put it on the Boombox mode and play it out there. And one of the features is you can program the car horn to anything you want. So when you hit the horn, it can go, Abby! Right? You can record yourself yelling or whatever. I mean, when you hit the horn, it'll go. And it'll do whatever you want.
Weird.
You can download sounds, music, whatever you want, and that'll be the horn. So we're gonna have to figure out what to do for our car horn, because currently it's on the GOAT setting. Sounds like a really loud, distressed goat.
You never honk the horn. You never honk the horn.
Oh, I might now. I might honk all the time. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right? You can like make it the Dukes of Hazzard sound. Da 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 da. No, you don't know that. That's probably fine. That show is probably not what. Yeah. Probably reasons why that one's not on TV anymore. But, okay. So New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve is like in 2 days.
Yeah.
Today's the 29th. Yeah, 2 days.
I don't really have official plans yet.
Well,
Me and the neighbors.
COVID New Year.
The neighbors and I might do something, like just a little celebration with just us. But we haven't really made like specific like plans. We're just gonna kind of go with it, whatever.
Yeah. You know, probably know what I'm gonna do.
Not do anything.
Yeah, probably watch a movie with Mom and convince everybody to go to bed at 9:30. Such a loser. Such a loser. But yeah, I don't know. That's the way it goes. I might stay up. I don't know. It is, like you said, getting rid of 2020. You know, just that idea of people have been saying it since January, right? Since all kinds of things happened last January that were not great. Like Kobe Bryant died in the helicopter crash, and then it's just everything started.
Yeah.
And then COVID, of course. And so it might be a little different. I might stay up for New Year's. I don't know. We usually are doing something.
Yeah, we usually go somewhere. We always do it at your parents' house.
It would be nice if we went somewhere, but we shouldn't go anywhere. And neither should you, viewing audience. You shouldn't. Next year. We're almost there. Mom got a vaccine. Did we talk about that last time?
No.
On the last, Mom got the vaccine. It is like, yes, I know. She cried.
She did?
Yeah, she said
of
she
course
cried.
She did.
She's just relieved. It's just step one in being done, in being to a spot where we can visit family again. We don't have to take all these precautions. I can get away from you for a day or two. Maybe not you so much, but others. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
Like go somewhere with your friends.
Yeah. So she's 3 weeks away from having her second vaccine and being all set. Less than 2.5 weeks. I am not in Wisconsin. They're doing K through 12 teachers as the next in line for the vaccine after the healthcare workers and the vulnerable population, the older people. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get lumped in with teachers or if I'll have to wait, but I'm hoping maybe by March 1st. By March 1st, right? Like 60 days. I feel like that's reasonable expectation. 60 days, and then I can put right there. And I'll be ready.
I wish.
It's so nice. I wish.
It's going to take a long time for me to get it.
Yeah, but you are also not a vulnerable population in any in any way. So we're okay. If Grandma and Grandpa get it, Mom and I get it, right? All those, then we're okay. Yeah. So New Year's, gifts. Oh, we got to do our top 5. We don't have questions this week. I have one question for you and you have one question for me. So do you want to do the questions first or count down our top 5 gifts of all time?
Shoot.
What?
Nothing. I didn't do anything.
What do you mean you didn't do anything?
Nothing. Never mind.
Okay.
I yawned again.
Oh, I didn't see. Oh, what are we going to do when there's 2 hands? I got to go all the way over here and come in. Oh, I don't know. Whatever. You want to, top 5 gifts of all time. You going first or am I going first? Number 5. Counting them down.
I'll go first.
Number 5. All right, you're going first.
I don't remember what it is. Number 5. So are we going in like in order?
Yeah, from 5 to 1.
Okay.
From 5 to 1, you got to say your favorite gift of all time.
Okay, so
your favorite story.
This is kind of like a category.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So when I was younger, I was obsessed with baby dolls, all things dolls. I've always been.
You YouTube watchers should check out YouTube. Have you made a video one time that had like thousands of views?
Whatever. Okay.
Yes. And I told you should keep doing these. People loved this. Thousands of views of you doing tours with your babies and stuff. And if you just kept doing it, you could be Marbles, Jenna Marbles. What's her name?
I don't know.
Oh, you do too.
Who?
Jenna whatever her name is, the YouTube person. She's always. This was back when you were doing those. She was doing YouTube videos too, and she was. Anyway,
I don't know.
All right, so you love baby dolls.
So yeah, I used to love baby dolls. So anything that I would get, like if I would get a baby doll or like Grandpa, your dad one time built me like this triple bunk bed and I used that all the time. And yeah, just anything baby doll, I was always excited, no matter what it was. I was always excited to add something more in my collection.
You had how many baby dolls?
Oh, so many. I don't even remember.
And they all had their. I mean, this was really fantastic. It was super fun.
I had a lot of fun.
A little sad that you had to grow up.
Yeah,
I know. So my number 5, and I didn't stick to just Christmas gifts. I went with gifts in general, just so you know. Okay, so this one was not a Christmas gift. This was just a very quick, here, take this kind of gift. And it was super nice. When I was leaving to go to Austria, to study in Austria, in Innsbruck, I had told my parents and Mom's parents that I was going to ask her to marry me 6 weeks later, 7 weeks later, whatever it was, when she came over. I think I told that story, maybe not. But anyway, I didn't ever really talk to my mom and dad about it a lot, just a little bit. And Julie's mom and dad, really, I just walked over there the one day and, told them I was going to do it and asked permission, kind of, and whatever. But anyway, before I'm leaving, my dad, and I was with my mom too, but I remember my dad handing me $100. Which was a really big deal. And he told me, use it to take your new fiance to a nice dinner. And it really just, I was super excited to leave, and as all these things and all these emotions were hitting me, and it was just one of those things like, whoa, my mom and dad really support me doing all these things, because this was big stuff. I was traveling to Europe by myself. I was getting married, going to get engaged, going to do all these things. And it was just kind of a gift that symbolized, yeah, we're with you. This is great. This is awesome. So, yeah. So there you go. Sweet. Number 4 for you.
Number 4 for me was my Easy Bake Oven.
It has recently been brought out of storage.
Oh yeah.
And is being used by your sister Amaya.
Yeah, she loves baking.
She does love to bake. She doesn't love the clean up part of it yet.
But she does love doing it.
She does love to bake. We're working on that stuff. So the Easy Bake. Do you remember a certain thing you made in the Easy Bake that you're like, those are actually good?
And Amaya just made them with the neighbor girl, her best friend. They were like these like whoopie pies, kind of like they were chocolate and then it was like frosting in the middle. And I remember making them with Alexis and it was so good.
Easy Bake Oven. Very good. Okay, so when I was, I must have been 8 or 9, maybe even a little younger, 7 or 8? Don't quite remember. So around that age, we got an Atari. It's like a Nintendo. It's like a PlayStation. It's a video game thing. We got an Atari 2600. And we've got to play Combat, and we got to play Space Invaders, and it was like the first, or one of the first, video game systems. We got one. And I remember, you know, when you're that age, it's kind of some of your first memories, and so they're really kind of vivid. And I remember the paper being across we lived in, so it's, you know, where great-grandma Schoberg lives. It's like a block and a half away from there. We lived in that house. It was kind of a greenhouse at the time, I think. And I remember going through there, and it was sitting there in an Atari 2600. Kid's dream then. That was the top of the top. Yeah. So that was pretty nice. Number 3 for you.
Number 3 for me was this is actually from Granny that I got. My Alexa, like my Echo Dot.
Oh, really?
I use it every single day, and I literally love it. Like, I use it for my alarms. I use it for timers. I use it for music. I use it for just random questions. Podcasts even sometimes.
Controls your lights?
It controls my light. I love it. I love my Alexa.
Yeah, we do use those in this house fairly often. We use the one in the kitchen to play music all the time. Isaac uses his to play music. I don't know if you know, he sits in there, reads his book, and listens to music a lot. Yeah. Kind of like you. You go to your room and you put some music on and read or just relax. So very cool. All right, so my number 3. For years, ever since we moved into the house, every time I would get a present, I would hold it and I would look at it and I would say, yes, it's a box. It could be
a shed.
A shed. Could be a shed. And I would shake the box and I would open the box. It would be this big, of course. And then you kids would look at me like, it can't be a shed. It could be a key to the shed. It could be a padlock that's leading me into a shed. That was always my thing because I wasn't going to get a shed. We weren't in a spot where we could get a shed. Somebody gave me a shed one time. I got a shed.
Got his dream shed.
I sure did. And we used that shed, and I love that shed, and it gives me room in the garage, and it's full, and you kids play in it, and we store stuff, and so nice. And I had to come up with a new thing and so it saved you all the headache of me always saying, could be a shed.
Yeah.
Could be a shed. Could be a shed. So it saved a lot of people a lot of stuff. Number 3 for me was a shed. Number 2 for you.
My number 2.
We're getting up there. These are going to be big deals now.
Number 2 for me. Well, I don't know. I don't have like huge ones. There's one really huge one. That's number 1. But the second hugest one was my iPod. When I was younger, I asked for an iPod for like 3 years. And maybe like 2 years. But I always asked for an iPod every Christmas, and I never got it. And then one year I was just super duper duper excited. I screamed. Isaac yelled at me. He was really sad that I screamed.
Did he? And was he?
Yeah, he was like,
I don't remember that part. I believe it, but
yeah, I was really excited.
For the chorus, it sounds like, yes, that's probably what happened, but
yep.
I don't remember. So an iPod.
These are all Christmas gifts. Like, I didn't know.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So do you have a gift that you got some other time that you remember?
Well,
Like a
my
birthday
phone
gift?
now. That's a great gift. It wasn't a birthday gift. I don't have huge gifts, I guess. I don't know. I can't think of any.
A phone is a pretty good one. It's a pretty good gift. All right, so number 2 for me was a wedding gift. Got this for my wedding, and it was from my brothers. And it was another one of these things where I always kind of talked about wanting this thing, but I never was really going to get it because it's not really that practical and blah, blah, blah. And for my wedding, they went out and bought me a moped. And I had a moped, and I drove the moped to work all the time when we lived in our other house over on Marion Road. I used to drive my moped.
I remember seeing it in the garage.
And then when we moved here, I brought it. You just can't, I mean, I guess now maybe we could drive it around the neighborhood a little bit. It would be kind of fun to cruise around.
But we don't have it anymore.
You can't go anywhere because that moped could not drive on the highway because it only topped out at about 35 miles an hour. And would have been super dangerous to try and drive it out on the highway. And so we sold it.
Yeah.
Eventually had to get rid of it. It got a lot of miles and a lot of use, and it was super fun. But eventually we had to get rid of it. So I don't know, maybe someday if one of you wants a moped for some reason, or a scooter, or I don't know, you guys, what do you all want that's sort of similar to a moped that we always laugh about, and that someday maybe somebody will get this for you and you will all laugh.
We all always say we want a motorcycle with a sidecar.
Yep. That is true. You've been saying it for 8 years. Yeah. Alexis can drive the moped. We'll ride in the sidecar. We'll go to school every day. We'll put our backpacks on. Off we go. Yeah. So
That'd
moped with a side. Someday, if anybody wants to really super splurge on heavy for a wedding gift in 10, 12, about 15
motorcycle
years.
With a sidecar.
Years. Wedding gift, 15 years. There you go. All right, so this is it now. Like a drum roll, because this is your number 1 gift of all time that you remember and you thought about while you were thinking about this, because you always feel bad because, oh, I bet I forgot something. But what is it?
It was our trip to South Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was the best gift of all.
Best gift of all. How did you get that gift? Do you remember?
Dad sent us up in like a scavenger hunt, but like, yeah. It
was like a big puzzle. It's like an escape room kind of thing. Yeah. You had to solve a bunch of puzzles to finally get to filling in the blanks.
And then it finally resulted in coordinates. That was our final answer, was coordinates. We plugged them in and it led us to Cape Town, South Africa, and we go, what? And I was like, are we going there? Yeah.
Yeah. And then Isaac remembered being up in my office and seeing flyers around.
Funniest video ever. Should I include the video after this?
Sure. Yeah, okay. Upload the video after this.
Ready? Here's the video.
Space 18.42. That's 81.
I think we're doing it wrong, because isn't the second number like the height?
Well, what do the coordinates lead to?
Guys, Africa.
Cape Town?
Cape Town. Cape Town.
Cape Town. South Africa. Wait.
Are we going there? For how long?
A month.
What? When?
In a couple months.
Really? When? What month?
May.
What are you gonna do there? I want to ask you something, Dad.
I'm ready.
Go ahead.
There's a poster in UW on the 4th floor that says South Africa.
Oh, that was great. That was great. Good video. I'm glad you said it in there.
Remember
watching. That was awesome the way you did that. So here's my favorite gift. One year, boy, you must have been 6 or 7. Alexis must have been like 8 or 9, and Isaac must have been like 4. Right? So you're all pretty little, but you just love Christmas, just like the right ages for Christmas, right? Just everybody was right.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. The right ages for Christmas. And one day, it was Christmas Eve. And you all said, oh, open the presents, open the presents, open the presents. And you're super excited because you're little kids.
Yeah.
So we said, no, we don't open presents. We only open presents from family members on Christmas Eve. So if you got a present for me, then we could open that. Or if I gave you a present, then we could open that. Or if you gave something to Evelyn, you guys could open presents. And I think it must have been the brainchild of Alexis because she was the oldest. So I'm sure she spearheaded this idea. Do you remember this? Do you remember what I'm going to say?
I don't think so.
So the whole afternoon goes by, and you guys are just busy. You're just busy with stuff. You kept going in the bedrooms, kept coming out, kept going in the bedrooms, kept coming out. And Mom and I are cleaning and doing stuff and going around and all these kinds of things. And there were 50 presents wrapped. 50. I'm not kidding. There were 50. There might have been 60. There might have been more. There were just present after present after present after present. And you guys brought them out and put them on the tree. And we were looking at each other like, what is going on?
Do we wrap random things?
And so we sat down for Christmas. And I said, I'll take this. This one's for me. And they all had names on them. And I opened them up. And it was a pair of socks. And so you all know that I love socks. It's like my thing. New sock day, a new pair of socks is something I love. If I ever get $1 million, what am I going to do with it? New pair of socks every day. Correct. Yeah. So it's a pair of socks, only it wasn't new socks. It was just a pair of my socks from my drawer. And I looked over and the 3 of you started laughing so hard. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And we sat there and we opened 50 gifts, and every single one of them was Dad's shirt, and Mom's socks, oh, Dad's hat,
I don't
pair of
remember.
gloves, oh, that were my gloves that I probably were wet from me wearing them outside, and then this and that, a fork, it was just 50 gifts, and we had so much fun. We sat there for 2 hours. Opening gifts and watching the 3 of you laugh so hard every single time we opened up a gift, and it was underwear. Those were really funny when we opened the underwear. So that was my favorite of all time. When you guys wrapped everything.
I don't.
We had to put it all away.
No,
it was kind of annoying. It wasn't as annoying. To stop me if I'm a teacher, so I tell stories a lot, right? And I tell the same story over and over sometimes. Tell me if I've told this story about when you guys decided to make a really soft pile for you to jump off.
Oh, yeah, I think we did tell the story when Alexis and I took all of our clothes.
Every piece of clothing.
Piled it up on the floor and jumped off the bunk bed into the clothes a billion times.
But it was every single shirt, every single pair of pants, every single pair of socks, off all the hangers, out of every drawer was empty, every hanger was empty in the entire house, in a giant pile of clothes. It was the most annoying. I had to fold them all and put them all back. It was like Uber laundry day for you. Congratulations, Dad. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, so we have one question for each other, and then we'll wrap this up. What's your question?
I don't have one.
What?
I already told you that.
Oh, okay. So let's just do this then. Let's just do this. 2021 wish. Like one thing that you want to happen, you want to do, you want to go, you want to see something in 2021, and you can't say I want COVID to be gone.
Okay.
Because we're good. Yes.
We all want that.
Yes. Right.
Okay, my number one wish is that, like we kind of already said this a little bit, but that we can have like family reunion. Like, if like all the adults get the vaccine, or like most of them, and then we all be safe, I just want to see everyone without having to take all the precautions, and I want to have a sleepover with Grace, and play games with Max and Kelsey, and yeah, I just want to do that. That's like the #1 thing, because I just miss that so much, and we haven't seen them in so long.
So that's a great one.
Yeah,
that's a great one. It would be on my list too. But
because what else do you want?
Well, and that's exactly what I want. Is I would like to see Kitty and Mike.
Oh, me too.
I would like to find our way to I mean, we would have done it for sure, but we need to find our way to New Mexico, and we need to go see Kitty and Mike.
Yeah, I miss them.
I miss them too, and they miss us, and they're a long ways away from a lot of their friends, and COVID has made it double hard for them to be, you know. Mike and I had a great conversation the other day. We have coffee and FaceTime each other now and then, but so that's what I want to do. I want to go to New Mexico, and I want to see Kitty and Mike and do some hiking out there and spend some time. So there we go. There are our 2021 wishes. It seems like something maybe we can, I don't know. Come on, science. Science. Yeah, right on. All right, I'm T.
And I'm E.
All right.